sometimes show unequal branching. Some branches remain short, others grew and expand at different paces. Such an unequal development of various branches is called overtopping. Overtopping chart. This is characteristic of the kingdom protista. Protista do not develop from a plastic or an embryo. Protista are polyphyletic group of organism, and they do not share a single common ancestor. Flagellates may be free living symbiote parasites. Flagellates obtain their food either by ingesting living or dead organism or by absorbing nutrients from dead or decomposing organic matter. Plastic giant amoeba. Plastic may be primitive of all eukaryote-like form. This species has multiple membrane-bound nuclei, but none of the other organelles found. All the other eukaryotes, giant amoeba, obtain energy from methane and bacteria which live inside them. Giant amoeba inhabit mud at the bottom of freshwater ponds where they contribute degradation of organic molecules. Two characteristics of zoophytes. Zoophytes are most unicellular. Some are colonial organisms with spherical elongated bodies. Zoophytes possess from one to many flagellates located at the anterior end that enable them to move. Species is a group of natural families can briefly among the produce fertile of the matter calculate from other subgroups in nature. Human being males category virology is branch biology which studies various but branch assignment of the name of organisms into Latin words, the first denoting genus and the second description and the name two together constitute the name of the species. Rules of fundamental name of species are derived from the Latin words, Latinized Greek words. Scientific names are usually printed in Italian and written when they are underlined. First generic name always begin with a capital letter. Second specific name is written in a small letter. Man, Homo sapien, onion, allium, cepa. Viruses are obligate interest. Parasites means that they can reproduce only in animals, plants, cells, or microorganisms by replication or cannot be grown on artificial media. Artificial media or lytic phase undergoes lytic cycle in which phase viral nucleic acid immediately after entering host cell takes the control of the host by synthetic machinery and induces the host cell to synthesize viral DNA protein as new bacteria from bacterial cell bursts. It undergoes newly formed phases are related to infect bacteria and another lytic cycle begins. Lysogenic undergoes a lysogenic cycle in which phase viral DNA instead of taking over the control host machinery become incorporated with bacterial chromosomes. In this state prophase each time the bacterial chromosome replicated prophase also replicate and all later total bacterial cells are infected with the prophase. Without response enzyme or path enzyme non retained part of the enzyme which are essential for the proper function of the enzyme with the enzyme and the usually act as a bridge between enzyme and the substrate. Enzyme is non-protein part of the which is closely attached to the protein part of the enzyme causes enzyme are closely related to vitamins or derivative of vitamin NAD+ enzymes are biochemical catalysts which are globular protein and other enzymes lower the activation intensity of the reaction. Enzymes are very specific in their action. Enzymes increase the rate of reaction without them being used up or enzymes to enzymes say in certain cases enzymes act in a series of the chemical reactions in a particular order to complete a metabolic pathway. Successive enzymes containing these reactions are normally present together in a precise order of the reaction such that substrate molecules can be literally handed on from one enzyme to another forming an enzyme to enzyme chain. In this way the products from one step in pathway are transferred to the enzyme that rather in the next step. Characteristic of living they are highly complex. They are made up of one or more cells. They can contain the genetic characteristics of their characteristics or population in the group only same at the same time the number of rats in a bill of rice community population of different species plant and animal living in the same habitat community of rats community for eras of the geological time chart Paleozoic hydroponic technique Hydroponic technique is used to test whether a certain nutrient is essential for plant or not. In this technique, plants are grown in healthy water for which nutrient mineral salts have been added. Astronomy is used for growing vegetables or characteristic of the organism. They are highly complex in nature. They are made up of one or more cells and using it. They are genetic program of the population in the group only same location at the same time. The number of rats in a bill of rice population of different species plant and animal living in the same habitat from a community of rice community for geological time. The protocol Paleozoic hydroponiculture technical is used to test whether certain nutrients essential for the plant or not. In this technique, plants are grown in healthy water which nutrient mineral salts have been added. Astronomy uses it for growing vegetables. Environmental degradation environmental pollution and toxic material by living organism is covered remediation for example reduce pollution of the heavy metals by absorption in dozen species which are near to be extinct are endangered species. If they are not protected they will soon become extinct or Apple enzyme without process this apple enzyme co-factor co-factor not written part of the enzyme in the which are essential for the proper function of the enzyme. They usually act as a bridge between enzyme and the place coenzyme non-protein part of the non-protein part which is loosely attached to the protein part of the enzyme. Coenzyme are closely related to derivative of vitamin and extract enzyme characteristic of the enzyme that provide chemical activity are global protein and enzyme low activation energy of the reaction and average balancing the reaction. Enzyme increase the rate of reaction without themselves being used up. In certain cases, enzyme act in a series of the chemical reaction in a particular order to complete a metabolic pathway such as respiration or processing. Successive containing these reactions are normally present together in a precise order of the reaction. Order of the reaction such as substrate molecule can be literally handed on from one enzyme to another, forming an enzyme to enzyme chain. In this way, the product from one step to pathway are transferred into the enzyme, characterizing the next step. Binding site. The binding site has the enzyme in the recognition and binding site of the proper substrate to produce an enzyme substrate complex. Catalytic activated catalytic site catalyzes transformation of the substrate into product as This is a group of natural populations can interpret freely among themselves and produce fertile of suffering matter and pure calculated farm and such groups in nature. Human being, males, cat, etc. Virology is the branch biology which studies viruses, biodynamic culture is a standard name to organize using two Latin words. First denoting genus and second descriptive name to together constitute the name of the species. The name of the are derived from Latin as Greek words. Name are usually printed in Italian and written there underlined. First name, generic name always begin with capital letter. Second generic name, specific name is always in small letter. Man, Homo sapien, Honin, Allen, Zappa. और उसके बाद virus obligate intracellular parasite means that they can be produced only in animal plant cells or microorganisms by replication and cannot be grown on artificial media or lytic phase. Lytic phase undergoes lytic cycle in which phase viral nucleic acid immediately after entering the host cell takes place. The control host by synthetic machine and induces the host cell to synthesize viral DNA and proteins or as new bacteriophage are formed. Bacterial cell process glycolysis newly formed phages are released to infect the bacteria and another lytic cycle begins. Lysogenic phase undergoes a lysogenic cycle in which viral DNA instead taking over the control of host machine become incorporated into the bacterial chromosome phase. In this state is called prophase. Each time the bacterial chromosome replicates the prophase also replicates all the daughter bacterial cells infected with the prophase. Capsid add nucleic acid or collar or sheath, tail fiber or base plate. Characteristics of king of Protista. Characteristics of king of British do not develop on trustful or enamel British upon parasitic group of organisms, and they do not share a single common ancestor. Flagellates. Flagellate may be living symbiont of parasites. Flagellate obtain their food either by ingesting living or dead organism or by absorbing nutrient from dead or decomposing organism methods. Plumexaplastis behind amoeba. Plumexaplastis may be the most primitive of all eukaryote life form. This species may have multiple membrane-bound nuclei, but none of the other organisms found in all other eukaryotes or giant amoeba. Giant amoeba obtain energy from internogenic bacteria which live inside them. Giant amoeba inhabit mud at the bottom of the freshwater bones, where they contribute degradation of organic molecules. Characteristics of zooflagellation cells. Some colonial organisms with spherical elongated bodies. Zooflagellate possess from one to many flagella located at anterior end that enable them to move. Micronucleus. Micronuclei are diploid. Micronuclei are small and one or more number. Micronuclei are involved in sexual process. Macronuclei. Macronuclei are polyploid. Macronuclei are larger and in one in number. Macronuclei are involved in controlling cell metabolism and growth. Amphibian of plant bipods are called amphibian of plant world because they cannot live away from the world. They need water for reproduction and 3 to 4 artificial branches on gametophyte of Mercentia bearing male sex organ. Bearing male sex organ of Mercentia and 3 produces sperm by mitosis. चलो वेलकम है आपका लाइक करो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो प्लीज सपोर्ट करो amphibian bipods are the amphibian of the world because they cannot live away from the water. They need water for reproduction. 3 to 4 are spherical branches on gametophyte and bearing male sex organ. 3 produce sperm by mitosis and artigonopores are the first branch of gametophyte Mercentia और वेलकम है आपका लाइक करो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो चैट करो प्लीज सपोर्ट करो Mercentia bearing female sex organ. Artigonia produces eggs by mitosis or living genera of the Phyllodon submissive Petavis Cooksonia extinct genera of Cooksonia Phyllophyton Ornitophyton or